You're listening to Platonically Yours, a podcast about platonic love. Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge that this podcast was dreamt up and is being recorded on the unceded lands of the Ngunnawal and Ngambri peoples. We pay our respect to elders past, present and emerging. This is our last episode of season 2. Hi, Sami. How are you feeling?
Hello. We're back.
We're back.
Feeling good. We've recorded this season pretty quickly, actually.
Yes.
So feeling very immersed in the recording and feeling good. It's exciting. It's been a really nice season.
It has been a really lovely season.
Yeah. And basically what this episode will be, similar to how we ended last season, is a little check-in to kind of wrap it up and just talk about what we've discussed over the course of the season, any highlights, what we've learnt, what surprised us maybe, and then just personally kind of sharing what we're on to next individually and or together.
Yeah.
So where should we begin?
Well, you put me in the hot seat to begin the season. So I'm going to put you in the hot seat to start the episode.
Okay. Live react. I didn't know this was coming. Sure.
It won't be for the whole episode though. But
Okay.
I think you should start off with what were the standout moments for you this past season and which episode surprised you most?
Okay, I think, let me think. It's got to be Canberra Slam. It's very fresh in my mind, but it was just a really unique recording. Maybe not in general, but for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was really brave.
Sorry, I just hit the table.
It's a community that I'm a pretty regular attendee of over the years, and I've never spoken. I've never done a poem, and I would have loved to for that, but alas, next time.
You have spoken.
No, I spoke at the Plunge, that storytelling event, which is kind of a similar energy, but no, I've never.
Okay.
Poetry is more adventurous for me, and I'm not as familiar. Storytelling in general, as we've touched on in this season, absolutely. But yeah, poetry feels kind of scary, and I don't consume a lot of it outside of those events, which I'm initially connected to because of people who go, not the subject matter or the art form really.
Yeah.
Which I guess is kind of actually quite nice and fitting to this community building.
Yeah.
And kind of like what we recently talked about in book clubs as a community gathering, in that it doesn't necessarily have to be so much about the books. But it is nice to have these different ways to kind of be entry points and points of connection, but it's not actually, especially initially, so much about the art form itself. Or the practice or the subject matter. But it was your idea to kind of get in touch with Canberra Slam and Andrew Cox, and that was really brave. You are a total force. I think I also started this season with this, but your drive and dedication to bring this passion project of yours that you dreamt up alongside me along the way, but it's your baby and your original concept, and your energy and commitment to kind of manifesting these ideas is just incredible.
Thank you.
And you are a total inspiration to me in that way, because I have no shortage of ideas, but executing them and committing to them and putting in the time is something that I am still working on, and you are just so amazing at that. So anyways, I think it was a really brave concept to
Thank you.
To do the live recording, to even reach out in the first place. I think when you first mentioned it to me, I was like, whoa, and my job here is to be the number one hype girl, number one supporter, which I do well. And so I did not boo-boo that. I did not poo-poo that. I was like, okay. But absolutely internally I was like, really? Is that a bit cringe or embarrassing, or surely he'll say no?
Yeah.
But he didn't. And anyways, hopefully if you're listening or watching, you were able to listen to that episode. And if you haven't already, I would really encourage you to. It just was so beautiful, and like the way that people rallied for that in-person event. Like we shared the podcast with, how many people do you think were there?
Oh, I don't know, and I don't recall the amount of people that they said, but it was really beautiful because
it was a full room.
It was a full room, and it was like the first time that Andrew had put out a theme. Andrew and Rochelle had put out a theme for the slam, and it was on platonic love. So a lot of people wrote poems specifically on the topic,
which
to
was
bring
really touching
to the slam, which was just like so beautiful and so lovely to hear from other people, their perspective on the topic. It was really, really beautiful. And
it just was such an amazing, like it went so well, you know, the recording and the tech and
shout out to Ben.
Shout out to Ben, our hero. Thank you. Who helped us with all the tech and recording. But it was just like the most beautiful manifestation of this kind of theme that's been throughout this season of community and bringing people together. So really props to you for kind of having that idea and having the courage to ask and, you know, ask and you shall receive. If you don't ask, you don't know. And it's just, it was really special and it felt really, really meaningful and significant to be a part of. So that was my highlight. What was your highlight?
My highlight is actually more about the process, interestingly, than the rest of it. I think that also ties into just like the quality of conversations we've been having has just been excellent, and I've thoroughly enjoyed like the time that we've spent with each guest.
Yeah.
And I've just left each conversation like lighter and just with so much more admiration, I think, in my heart for people doing community orientated work, but also just people who have such a strong passion for their craft and how that ties into their community and their friendships. And I just loved that. I think we've done such a lovely job of creating this amalgamation of like community and gathering, but then also having love stories and also talking about topics that people want to hear about. And I hope that it all flows really nicely and that it's packaged in like a very wholesome way that people really thrive from listening.
That it will resonate with.
Yeah, it'll resonate, but they'll like, you know, they'll want to step into the worlds that we're trying to introduce people to. So in that sense, I've just really actually I've loved, I guess the standout for me was the act of creating and just being open to those different communities and those different people that I maybe wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah, and again, being so brave to reach out to all of them.
Yeah, so I think that was probably
because it really was
standout.
A kind of a step to the side from the last season, which were all really close personal relationships to us that we'd observed. And then this was often people that we knew or that one of us knew, but we didn't necessarily know, like we didn't have a close friendship with them like we did with basically all of our guests last season.
Yeah.
So that was, exciting. And it will be interesting to hear what the listeners think about that, like how that kind of does resonate. And I think that'll be interesting to hear as well. Yeah,
please let us know.
Yeah.
We want your feedback.
What about what you learned?
What did I learn?
Yeah.
What did I learn?
Oh, sorry. Am I still in the hot seat? Do you want to ask me something?
I mean,
I'm taking control.
I was going to ask about if your understanding of platonic love had changed at all, like discussing these more community-centered, oriented kind of conversations.
I don't know if it necessarily has changed. Like, I don't feel like I had a major kind of pivot to, a different experience or understanding of platonic love from these recent recordings, but certainly it feels really relevant. I think like we kind of started with talking about, it feels really relevant talking about community and connection and kind of more broader, further reaching platonic love.
Yeah. And I guess coming back to the question you said, like, what did you learn? I think in a weird way, I learned to like listen to my instincts a little bit. I've said in a couple of episodes this season, like what I've been craving recently has been like a sense of community outside of my long-standing relationships that I have with people.
Yeah.
And I think I've learned that through this process, I've had to open myself up to those opportunities and to like putting myself in those spaces.
And has it felt good to lean into them?
I think it has. And I think through it, I just said I think multiple times in a sentence, but that's okay. I see myself wanting to stay connected to several people that we've had on the show this season. And I think that's really special.
Yeah.
I think coming out of it, like it is a show about like platonic love. So coming out of it and making sure that we're talking to people that inspire us and that we admire, and then we want to potentially form those relationships with, I think that's also like really powerful. So I think that's kind of what I've learned, like follow the instinct in the way of like what you're feeling, like personally, like what feels right to you, and then adding on that of like just put yourself out there kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
Or put the podcast out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about what surprised you?
What surprised me?
Anything?
I would say what surprised me was just how people rally.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. Like I think there's a lot of like I think a lot of people are always a little bit apprehensive of like community and gathering because of how or at least our generation, because of how we've grown up.
Yeah. So digitally.
Yeah. And I think we're now getting back to like being together and actually physically gathering. And I think when you put that out there and you have those spaces, like we talked a lot about third spaces in one of the episodes this season.
Yeah.
When you have those spaces, like people will rally. Like people want that connection. People want to be a part of it. And I think that probably is what surprised me a little bit. I don't know how. I don't know how to like
that also makes me think of, I can't remember if we've talked about this, but the break that we both had from social media. Did we ever talk about that?
No, we never talked about it.
Okay, because
there's some audio files lying around somewhere on my laptop.
Oh, true.
Of that time when we travelled, but yeah.
That's right, yeah. Because, maybe about 9 months ago, we both took about a month off social media, or specifically Instagram.
Yeah.
And, that really resonates, what you were just saying resonates with me, because at that time, which we were talking a lot really deeply about this at the time, but I was really feeling so disconnected from community.
Well, we both were.
Yeah.
Like they were the conversations that we were having, right?
Yeah, true, which I hadn't kind of connected those dots to this season until now, but
it's funny how the universe does that.
But and I kind of had this big realization, or just kind of tipping point, where I recognized that I'd been online, on Instagram specifically, or some form of social media, Bebo, Facebook, etc.
Okay, wait.
Bebo, is that a throwback?
Can we just chat about Bebo really briefly?
Okay, yeah, go.
What a time.
Yeah, I would have been 12.
What a time.
Maybe even 11. And you could
don't know
share
what I
love,
wanna-
and you had, do you remember sharing love? And you had like your like love literal status, like how many people had given you love.
Wow.
On like the top of your profile.
No wonder we're so screwed up.
No wonder I require so much external validation.
Here's the validation you need.
Yeah,
Have
fully.
some love. No, I remember you could add like music.
Yeah.
that
You'll
like
often share music
like,
videos.
and like music that like what's the song that best describes you, or there'd be like
Yeah.
it was maybe it's like the precursor of like
I remember listening to a
Hinge
lot
or
of
Tinder or
R&B
something
at the
like that.
time.
Oh wow.
Forever by Chris Brown. I know
Oh,
he's problematic now, but
but that was a tune
that
back
song,
then.
oh my God, has a chokehold on me still. No, not still. I don't listen to it anymore because Chris Brown. But yeah,
But if it did come on in the club, you would know it. And
I'm not sure what I would actually do. Anyways, moving on.
yeah, that was a little bit of a pivot.
But I recognized that I'd been on social media
for a really long time.
for a really long time, and like every day, you know, outside of maybe 8 years ago, I did the overland track hike in Tasmania and would have been fully offline for 9 days, maybe 8 days.
Yeah.
Which was a really nice time. But outside of that, I've really been on social media like every day since I was 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And yeah, have tied so much of my personality and self-image and this like external validation has so much of that has come through that, and so much connection has come through that in a really beautiful way.
Yeah, which is why it's problematic, right?
Well, yeah, but I just was feeling so disconnected from community, and I think habitually I'd kind of become a lot more introverted. I was feeling really socially anxious, and so habitually I was still really leaning into social media and connecting with people through there, but I was really getting to a point in my life where that was not enough, and I could really tell that it was not enough. And it was a scary kind of like vulnerable space to then know that I desperately needed to reach out and be with people in person more and lean into bigger communities, broader communities, and have more gatherings. Like really, truly, I was talking a lot at the time about how I still had lots of really deep, beautiful friendships. I hadn't like had falling outs with anyone. It was just, but we were in this routine of catching up, often for coffee and just like talking. And I was sharing and they were sharing and we were connecting deeply, but I wasn't just like gathering with people anymore because a few friends had kind of moved away over the years and friendship groups had kind of shifted and being in different romantic relationships. But yeah, I just wasn't having fun and kind of just like gathering for the sake of community and gathering and feeling connected to like something bigger than just a one-on-one personal connection, which is still super important and I don't want to not have.
Yes.
And so getting off Instagram for a month, which I know sounds so short, but if you can imagine, and I'm sure a lot of people can, being on it every day for however many years that is.
Yeah.
15 plus.
Yeah.
It really was totally, it was really revealing, and it really encouraged me to actually start reading more a lot, which was also really nice and connects to this book club stuff. But yeah, to kind of actually just get out there and be part of communities again. And so I think it's been a really beautiful topic to lean into because it is so important and it can't be understated how important it is to maintain connection to community in your life, especially with in-person gatherings.
Yeah. No, it's been lovely to dive into that. And that is so interesting. Yeah, we did we like kind of recorded an episode whilst we were off social media.
Yeah, we went for a weekend away and we recorded some thoughts right at the start of that time.
You may never hear that. But,
let us know if you do want to hear it, maybe.
but we'll see. I guess though, like thinking about what's next, you're very excitingly working on some new creative stuff, but you're also traveling.
I have some thoughts on travel relating to platonic love.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
I leave in 2.5 weeks.
Yep.
Which will probably be quite nice to listen back to.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really different time, I think, in another 3-6 months' time.
Yeah.
But I'm traveling over 4 months to Europe, America very briefly for one very special stop.
So special.
Eleanor McDaniels. Hello.
Yes, we love you.
And then on to South America, which is kind of unfinished business for me from a trip at the start of 2020.
I don't know why. I'm like,
yes. Snaps! Yeah, you are. Fully. It's a big deal. Like, yeah. Anyways, and then 2 months in South America. But I've realized that much of this trip, some of it will be solo, but much of it is really oriented around finding friends. Like I'm going to be
beautiful,
finding different friends kind of all along the way, and platonic love specifically, like they're all platonic relationships, is totally driving that. And it's a real mission, like especially visiting Ellie in San Diego. I mean, I'm kind of flying over America anyways, so it's not so...
It's just a pit stop along the way.
It's like basically makes sense logistically, but like I don't really have too much of an interest in being in America, especially at this time otherwise.
Yeah.
And, you know, it is a long way to travel and it's expensive, but I have no doubts at all, like no regrets about investing in that.
That's beautiful.
And that feels really good. And just, I don't know, I think leading up to doing a trip like this, which I've been meaning to do for a long time, I think I always kind of hoped that I would have a romantic partner to do it with. And I have never really found, we've been in lots of really beautiful romantic partnerships, but none that have really allowed for that. And that's been a real, like, I don't know, just shift in my perspective over time, kind of coming to terms with that. And then I thought for quite a while that I would just do it solo which almost then is like leading into this becoming really isolated, you know, like you can't rely on other people. You just have to go out and do the thing that you want to do on your own, which there's a time and a space for. But it's just been really beautiful and serendipitous that actually this trip has ended up being really quite oriented around a lot of really beautiful platonic relationships. And I feel really grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say similarly, I'm essentially moving overseas very, very soon. And I would say that similarly, it's been very, very beautiful. I love the word beautiful. I always use it. I think it's one of my favorite words. Just a
Beautiful
moment
word.
for the word beautiful. Like it encapsulates so many things. But I think it's been really lovely because as soon as I've been like telling friends like, these are my plans, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm working towards, I've then had friends be like, well, like one of them's like, I've never been to Europe. Maybe I'll come to Europe. Do you want to like travel with me for a bit in Europe? And then I have other friends that like are like, do you want to spend Christmas together? And I'm like, definitely. Like, and it's just been so lovely that like we spoke about like rallying a short time ago. Like it feels like that's what my friends have done for me a little bit. Obviously they also like want to travel and want to go to Europe and maybe I'm an excuse that they need to like do that big thing
Still.
But it's still like so lovely that I'm a factor and that I'm considered.
Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't be doing it if they didn't like you.
Exactly.
Like if they didn't care about you or enjoy your company, they wouldn't do it.
And it's nice that people are like checking in. They're like, oh, well, we're going to be in this area for like these dates. If we line up, like we should definitely see each other. And it's just so nice on your train of thought to like have those intentions and like actually just like lean in and like be guided by that. Like follow what your heart's telling you to follow. I think that's like beautiful and like dictating for yourself what's right. And not listening to outside factors about like where you should be or what you should be doing or who you should be with.
Yes, and let like a platonic relationship guide that. Like that is so great, totally acceptable. It doesn't have to be a romantic partner or a family member necessarily. Like you can go places and spend a lot of money to see just a friend that you fucking love.
Yeah, and I think, that's it. That's incredible. And it's also a great privilege. But just shout out to, to the people that cherish those relationships and will go above and beyond to spend time with you and vice versa. I think that's just like such a special thing that
it
exists.
makes life so rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's the point. That's the point.
And your experience is so rich as well, I think, which is really lovely. Yeah. So anyway, Sami and I are going to be doing some things, which is so awesome and exciting. And over the period that we're apart, we'll be, getting this podcast ready for you and having a little think about what's next.
Will there be a season 3, Rowena?
There will be a season 3.
Oh my God.
Spoiler.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, there will be a season 3. At least in this current moment. I'll forgive myself if there isn't. But
that is the intention.
That is the intention right now. And I'm actually also cooking up a little bit of like a sub-series, which will sit alongside Platonically Yours, but will also like, you can find it in the same place. And the intentions are still the same. It's about like platonic love, but a much more kind of casual approach and kind of using it because I'll be traveling so much as like a way to like connect to friends and have conversations, like wholesome conversations with each other from afar. But yeah, I'm excited to explore that and explore what that might look like. So yeah, watch this space. I'm so excited to continue doing this. Yeah.
It is very exciting.
It is. I'm feeling good about it. I'm like I said, I've really, really enjoyed the process of creating. I mean, I haven't edited any of these things yet, so check in like 10 weeks time, maybe a bit longer.
When you're listening to this,
when you're
check
listening
in with Rowie.
Check in with me. Make sure I'm like out of the hole that I've buried myself in. But I think as it is now, like I'm just super excited to explore and see what I can make happen.
Which is heaps if it's going off anything you've done already.
But yeah, I think that's what people can kind of expect hopefully in the future.
Look forward to.
And yeah, probably see us together again at some point. But who knows? Is there anything else?
No, I think it's time for some thank yous. And I know thank yous can be tedious, but you probably want to know who's been involved.
Yeah, I think, and it is a labour of love.
Yeah.
This platonic love project of ours. So
hit me with them.
Well, a big thank you to Sami.
Stop it.
Who I like to thank all the time on the show, but it's nice. It's lovely to have you.
It's nice.
Let me finish my sentence. Should I just not finish my sentence?
No, please. I just thought you'd say something a bit more special. I'm so sorry for interrupting. Please go on.
I might get there. No, I think having you be on the journey with me is very special to me, and I really appreciate having the time with you. And don't look at me like that. And
what am I looking at you like?
Her eyes are like watering a little bit.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
But yeah, no, she's crying.
I'm not crying.
But I love you very much.
I love you very much too. It's been a total pleasure. And I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you too. Thanks. But yes, we would also like kick off because we kick off every episode with it. I just want to thank Patrick again for the theme song, for letting us continue to use it.
Angel,
thank you so much. And to Ben for helping us record live at Canberra Slam. We've already mentioned him, but also just for helping and for being available to me if I need him to help edit the episodes this season. You're a legend, so thank you so much, Ben. Another friend of ours, Hannah, from the lab, thank you for providing a space for us to have a little community potluck to soft launch our season before we both head off. And lastly, just thank you, we say it again and again, but thank you to our wonderful guests who have joined us this season. We've loved every minute. So,
and thank you to you listening or watching.
Yes.
We couldn't do it without you. Yep. I mean, if there's more of you, that'd be great because then we can do more. But it's just so lovely knowing that people enjoy listening and are listening and
And also I think a special thanks to like our support networks who continue to be like our hype people, and send us messages all the time, and regardless of where they are in the world, just like being so supportive and kind of continuing to give us, I guess, a little bit of power to keep going. It's
Really crucial encouragement.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. But okay, let's wrap up. Sami,
Oh.
where can people find you online?
Oh, that's new.
Mixing it up a little
Okay.
bit. Where can they find you?
Well, I am back on Instagram. You can find me at Sesame, SESAMI, on Instagram. My website is samiharper.com.au. I've never said that out loud. I have a website though.
So please go and see it.
Yeah, and yeah, those are the best places. Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me. It's at Rowena.Yates on Instagram. I have Threads and I also have TikTok, but what you find on there, who knows? And I also have a website. It's just rowenayates.com. And of course, you can find us, the podcast, on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Platonically Yours Podcast, and at Platonically Yours everywhere you get your podcasts.
Thanks so much for listening again.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hope you enjoyed the season.
Okay, bye.
Bye.